I can recognize and draw quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral has 4 sides and 4 angles, and here are some examples. Right up here we have a rectangle, and then below that we have a rhombus. The rectangle has 4 sides, and so does the rhombus. They have 4 corners, and so does the rhombus. So they're both quadrilaterals. A square also has 4 sides and 4 corners, and a trapezoid has 4 sides and 4 angles. There's differences between these shapes in both their size and different attributes about them. I'm just going to quickly go through these and then continue in more depth on the coming slides. A trapezoid is called a trapezoid because it's a quadrilateral with exactly one set of parallel sides. Those are sides that never cross. A square is a quadrilateral that has 4 sides, all of them are equal, and it has 4 right angles. Coincidentally, the opposite sides are parallel, so it kind of has 2 sets of parallel sides. You have 4 right angles, and all of the sides are equal. A rhombus is similar to a square, but kind of on its tilted. A rhombus has 4 equal sides, and then the opposite sides are parallel. A rectangle is like a square, but stretched out. So basically, you have your 4 right angles, opposite sides are parallel, but not all the sides are equal. The top and the bottom sides are equal, and the 2 sides left and right are equal. Let's look at right angles. What do I mean when I say a right angle? I mean 90 degrees or square corners. 2 quadrilaterals have these. You have squares with 4 right angles and rectangles with 4 right angles. These are the only 2 that have all right angles. Now, other quadrilaterals like a trapezoid can and other just irregular quadrilaterals can have 1 right angle, but usually the square and the rectangle are the only ones with 4. A square is also a rectangle, just because the rules of a rectangle say the opposite sides are equal, you have opposite parallel sides and 4 right angles. And a square has all that, but a square is one step further in that all of the sides are equal. Parallel sides are sides that would never cross. A trapezoid has only one set, and that's usually the top and the bottom, but it can be flipped on its side when you look at it. And they would never cross if you continue them forever. A square and a rectangle each have 2 sets, up and down and side to side. These lines would never cross. But those aren't all the quadrilaterals with parallel sides. You also have a parallelogram and a rhombus. Parallelogram has 2 sets of parallel sides. Opposite sides are equal like a rectangle, but it doesn't have right angles. So no right angles in a parallelogram. A rhombus, again, is like a square. Opposite sides are parallel, all 4 sides are equal, but there are no right angles. I want to note that there are no right angles, but a square could be a rhombus, and a rectangle could be called a parallelogram in certain situations. Usually we like to call them squares and rectangles because it's a more specific name and gives us more information about the quadrilateral. I want you to pause the video and name all of these quadrilaterals. This one's a little bit tricky, so the hint I'll give you is that these bottom 2 sides that touch are equal, and the top 2 sides are supposed to be equal. But I think the rest of them you can generally tell what shape I was going for. So pause the video, try to name them all, and then I'll go over what they're called. Alright, so this first one I was trying to go for a rhombus. 4 equal sides, but no right angles. This one here, I have the 1 set of parallel sides, so I was just going for a trapezoid. Down here, I have 2 opposite equal sides, and these are supposed to be right angles, so I was going for a rectangle. This shape here I drew, I was trying to go for a parallelogram, kind of a rectangle, but slanted. Opposite parallel sides, and yeah, and the top and the opposite sides are equal. And over here, I was just going for a square. And down here, this is the one we haven't gone over yet. It's called a kite. A kite is a quadrilateral that has 2 adjacent or connecting sides that are equal. So like these 2 sides are equal and these 2 sides are equal, and they connect. Whereas like the parallelogram has opposite equal sides, the kite has adjacent or touching equal sides. And it looks kind of like a kite that you might fly in the sky. I can recognize and draw quadrilaterals. What I want you to do is to draw a trapezoid.